Alright, welcome back. We are here with the final Norn mission, Blood Washes Blood. For this mission, as I mentioned in Gate Too Far, I will be playing this one on my warrior. And since we are in the Shiver Peaks, logically I will be running my Conjure Flame build. So I run a 7-weapon stance Conjure. It's a very fun build I like. It's not optimal. 100 blades, 7-weapon stance, scythe, cyclone axe. They're a gazillion better warrior builds, but this one's fun, so I like it. Plus, it gives me an excuse to run icy and fiery dragon swords. In terms of my comp, again, not much too different here. Zei Ri with a Signatus Spirits Resto build. Xandra is my Soul Twist with Strength of Honor to buff my melee. Livia is Blood is Power, Master of Whispers, Shouts, and Bone Fiends. And we have our 3 Mesmers running Energy Surge, Panic, Psychic Instability with some extra enchantment hate. For this mission, to start it, you have to go to this area here where my current magnifying glass is. And so you can run over from either Long Eyes Ledge or from Sif Holla. I personally find it easier to run here from Sif Holla, but you can do either or. And if you're doing this mission for the first time, where you have to go get Egil Fireteller all the way out here, is all the more reason to start in Sif Holla. Plus, you'd already have it. I guess you'd already have Long Eyes if you went to do Charside first. And then also make sure you've got your Norn title on. I'm going to claim my veteran hunting party. Just in case we hit Strength of the Norn. And can't forget to put on my Strength of Honor, because I did that constantly during my Prophecies run-through. I just kind of hang the edge here. And once I get about even with this Resurrection Shrine, I cut back across. I'm just sidestepping all of these Berserking Minotaurs and Aurochs and Bison, because there's really no reason to fight them. Okay. Let's see, who wants to fight? Oh, this might be trouble. Let's retreat out this way. Of course, Livia got herself caught. Oh, Livia, never change. Well, as long as they're all on me, it might be okay. Let's see if I can get to the... Well, I can't exactly get to the Aurochs right now, as much as I would like to get rid of their monk. So for the record, I was supposed to retreat all the way back here. Unfortunately, my healer was less than intelligent and got herself trapped. So this is not a good example of what you should do. The fact that I got away with it is proof that you don't give up, but this is not something you should be doing in the first place. Do as I say, not as I do. Just happened to get fortunate that every single one of the Minotaurs decided to attack me. And so Panic really did its job there. This is actually a rare opportunity. I have a beer with Dwarven Stability available. And right up here, we're going to encounter my least favorite of all the spirits, even more so than Quickening Zephyr, which is Quicksand. I despise this spirit with a passion. For some reason, they never seem to run out of energy. I'm just going to take that out quickly because I just do not want to deal with it. On the bright side, it looks like Livia might actually lose all of her death penalty. by the time we get to the char bosses. Right, come up the top here. Watching these mandragores. Dream root first. Even if the mystics decided to try and body block me. Good lord, give me all the ales. I'll be quicker to get to my drunkard title. Got 1,000 plat in my storage, so as soon as these two together combine to hit 15,000, it's game. My party animal's close enough that I only need like 30 or so crates of fireworks to be done there. So that's like a week of Zeishan missions, if that. And this way I can continue getting items like Mysterious Tonics to progress that through Gifts of the Traveler. Which is why I didn't full on cap it, even though it's at 9,900. So this part, you gotta be very careful with how you pull. So I flagged my heroes here so they don't do something stupid, like try to run around this structure here to try to cast something on a guy that ran this way. As one of them was about to do. Take out these mandragores, cover our flank. You guys want to come over and help cast? That would be very nice. Alright, so we're going to do some pulling here. If you're vanquishing in this area, this is why I said in the last video, have a flat bow or a long bow. We're going to go after this guy. Nope, didn't want to get the hits. Being very careful about what I try to hit here. There we go. So there we go. Now they come in. Come into the choke point, and now we're at lower risk of dealing with more of them. This much is fine. But if things go south, we will retreat back the way we came from. I guess I could use the 4-leaf clover to get rid of Livia's death penalty. So watch me roll a 1. I guess I can't roll a 1. There, let's just get rid of that so I don't have to deal with it. Alright. Now we pull our next one. Just gonna bring these groups in carefully. Honestly, getting to the mission can sometimes take longer than the actual mission. Because Blood Washes Blood isn't really that long of a mission, but definitely getting to it, especially in hard mode, where I want to actually be careful, yeah, it can take a bit. Honestly, I could probably dive bomb into a lot more of these vetters. But after showing irresponsible fighting of the berserking Minotaurs, Aurochses, and Bison earlier, I probably should show what a responsible pull looks like. I'm going to go ahead and let this guy into my aggro circle. I'm going to flag these guys a little closer. Come on over. We're not going to hurt you that much. Bring our front up to here, pull these guys. And our goal is this black spot here, just across from this resurrection shrine. Even when you're vanquishing Jaga Moraine, this is a especially dangerous area where you just need to be careful with your pulling. And then you'll generally be okay. That's what a lot of hard mode is, I'll be honest, is just making sure you pull intelligently. And know when to retreat. Like, the reason why I was willing to dive into all the Berserkers is because the other 6 did get out. So if for some reason I started getting overwhelmed, I could just flag all of them away and I'd be fine. The map pieces, another thing you'll want to hang on to. You'll need top left, top right, bottom left, and bottom right in order to send a character into the secret lair of the snowmen. Part of me has always thought that the region that you're in determines which one drops where, but for some reason, even though I wouldn't say I do one area more than the others, I have like twice as many top left map pieces as like all of the others combined. It's actually ridiculous. I have like 30 top left map pieces, and I don't think I have more than like 6 of any of the others. If anything, I'd say I do Char stuff, or Evan Vanguard stuff a lot more. I mean, I'm at 468,000 secret agent points here. The other ones don't even come close. Like, if you had told me one drops in Far Shiver Peaks, one drops in Tarnished Coast, one's in Char Homelands, and one is in Dungeons, I'd believe it. At the same time, that does not seem to be how it's played out. Alright, so Sacred Altar over there is what we are heading to do. All you need to do is cap it, but as always, be very careful with all the vetters around here. We're actually going to pull this group first. This time there's few enough that if I accidentally pull a second group, honestly, I'm not that worried about it. It should be fine. In fact, we're going to go ahead and get started capping early. Let's get everybody running in there. And now we wait. So yeah, it's taken nearly 15 minutes just to get started with the actual mission. Unlike the others where it's been just talk to an NPC so far. This will probably be the longest one that I have to run to a mission for, though. It's like the elusive Golemancer also has a bit of a run. It's not that bad. At least compared to this. Finding Gad's like 2 mobs. Golems in an instance. Against the Char, you can avoid every enemy. Same with Assault on the Stronghold. Warband of Brothers is inside of an instance. And then same goes for Destruction's Depths and Time for Heroes. Alright, so there's the Bear Spirit. Talk to him, say Char are as good as dead, and there we go. Now we have Blood Washes Blood. Make sure this mission is actually active before you run through the portal into Bajora Marches. If you fail to do so, you will just open regular Bajora Marches, and you will have to recapture the altar with all the vetters still there. The way you can tell you got it right is if you are sent halfway into Bajora Marches. So at this point, there's going to be a lot of Char enemies. Once we start running into them, I'm actually going to switch to my Secret Agent title. I believe I mentioned a lot in my early Prophecies videos that the Char take extra damage from cold damage. Turns out they don't. I don't know where I remembered that being a thing. Maybe they did a long time ago, I don't remember. I always thought they took increased cold damage, but looked that up the other day, and turns out they don't. So instead, in case I run into any frozen elementals or avalanches, we're going to Dominator. So we're not really going to see it with these small Char patrols, and we'll talk a lot more about it when we get into the Ebon Vanguard section of missions. But Char will do very specific formations that you sometimes will have to break through because they'll try to cover their weaker guys. Alright, so Norgu, let's go ahead and get rid of your death penalty. Wow, a 9. I was expecting a 5. Still on the lower end, but whatever. The other thing is, because this takes place inside of an actual mission and not, or inside of the actual world, instead of inside of an instance, opening the map does not open an instance version like I did for Gate Too Far. So instead, you're going to have to rely on your mission map to navigate around. But we're going to head up here. Those guys are as good as dead because I do not want to fight those. Instead, we'll fight these dudes. We'll see if the Hex Reapers... Yeah, they are not holding formation at all. If they were holding formation, the Axe Master there would not have run in. Okay, I have to know if... Where are you? Did you stay back and fight? No, you didn't. How many hexes does he have? I get we fought 2 Hex Reapers, but how many was that? Let's reapply that on myself. Yeah, we're basically making our way directly to the shrine up ahead. And this is the first blessing that I will actually use. One, because I'm on a melee character, and generally those blessings do favor melee characters. 2, it is also one that is actually somewhat useful. Wolfen blessings, like, okay. Raven honestly is bad outside of the no knockdown deal. But I have Shamrock Ales, so I won't get knocked down if I want to. Which I might do that, actually, since we're fighting a bunch of frozen elementals. Yeah, so while technically it would be better overall for me to run a certain scan or I am unstoppable here, the thing is, the instant I have any sort of consumable alcohol I can use, I don't get knocked down anymore with Dwarven Instability, so it instantly becomes better. Because it also doubles the length of 7 weapon stance, which puts a little bit less energy problems on. Which you can't run a Zealous weapon to counter it if you're running this build, because that's not how the weapon prefixes work. You can't be both Fiery and Zealous. So we might see a little formation here. No, we're not. So as soon as this guy gets even anywhere close, he is top priority. Meteor Shower was cast, so I am flagging all of my heroes immediately out of it. I did this same exact thing in Gate of Pain. So if you want to see the explanation for why I'm doing what I'm doing, Meteor Shower is bad news. I see it cast, I move. I kind of mentioned it a little bit in Boreas Seabed 2, I believe. Now we'll take out Kindle Shot. He's got Barrage, so another one to be very careful with. Faster we can take him out, the better. And we'll also want to take out the Dominator too. Shatter Hex and Backfire and Shatter Enchantment. Yeah, that's kind of a problem. Yeah, you have to take out the 3 char bosses here. Each one's surrounded by a group of his own profession with 1 extra. So like the Elementalist was surrounded by Ellies and then had 1 monk. But Flame Troller really is not that big of a deal. In the Eviscerate build, I think he's got Cyclone Axe, but other than that, really not a problem. But now we go ahead and get our Urson Blessing here. I will have it replace my 4 Great Justice. And I am specifically going to aim for the barricades down here. We're going to loop around this way to get to it, actually. So what your goal is you want to wipe out the char within this homestead. However, you don't actually need to clear all the guys in this middle section or outside. You only need to clear the guys in the inner circle. And so that's what we're going to be doing. Is we are making our way directly to this barricade just north of the Resurrection Shrine right here. And to do that, we're going to cut right through the middle here. There's a Dominator, so that's top priority. Once we get closer to the barricades, I'll activate Urson Blessing. Or Urson Aura. Urson Blessing is a very different skill. Which once you finish the Norn side, if you want to get the elite skills that are basically just the forms from these missions, Hogni Truthseeker is down here in Drakkar Lake, and you can get all the quests from him. Too bad, we just had the Gift of the Traveler for that. Alright, so this is why Urson Blessing is required, is because it is the only way to take down these barricades. All you need to do, activate it, and then you pop your 4 skill. And then wherever you move, you're going to take out the barriers with you. Otherwise, you use your 3 skill before you use anything else. And then you just spam 1 and 2. That's all you really need to do with it. Does some nice damage. However, honestly, I would be doing a bit more if I was not under Urson. But it is still more than you would be doing with the Wolf or the Raven. Especially the Raven. Good lord. Its basic attack, I believe, just inflicts bleed and cripple. It doesn't even do any damage. It's like, yeah, it's damage over time, and maybe after like 10 seconds it's done more damage, but if the enemy dies in 5 seconds anyways, I'm pretty sure I would take that option instead. The only advantage is these are touch skills, so if you are blinded, this will still hit through that. Yeah, we're going to continue our way through, just fighting our way directly over. The other reason why I delayed putting Urson Blessing on is it does get rid of my 7 weapon stance and all that stuff. looks like Egil has declined joining us. But yeah, all of the enemies in here, so the 5 or 6 patrols up this way are what you care about clearing for this mission. Everything else you can kind of leave alone. The main reason you would clear extras is so you have a safe point to retreat to. So now here they're kind of doing that formation a little bit. So the Flame Shielder kind of hung back. Flame Shielders, Prophets, Menders, those tend to be the ones that stay in the back line. Yeah, now you can actually hear it progressing. So 4 groups remaining. So here we attack the Dominators. They're still not really doing the Char formation. Once you enter the homeland, you'll see it everywhere. And if you've done the full Eye of the North missions at this point, you're just looking for hard mode tips, then yeah, you've seen what I'm talking about. There's an entire main story mission, or story quest, that requires you to, or that tells you all about this formation stuff that they're doing. Your shot? Yeah, it's your shot. Not that it matters. Char carvings, another thing that can be used. The superb char carvings, another useful thing to hang on to if you are interested in the Mask of the Mozing, which is kind of a, which is basically a ninja headdress. You will need a full stack of those things. So I've actually been saving up on the side just for the fun of it. Yeah, Einar Snowmender here is my top priority, so I'm going to stick both my single target mesmers on him. Yes, once he's dead, everybody else kind of folds. But 1 group left, so once these 5 are dead, it is game over. We're going to approach from this side, so I reduce the chances of pulling those 2. And how nice of them to all come to me. But once that is over, we are through. And with that, we are done with the Norn section. So there we go. Quick, easy mission. It literally did take longer to start the mission than to actually complete it. But with that, next up we will be going to the Asura area next. For Finding Gad, I will be running, or the Finding the Bloodstone is the actual mission. I will be running my Necro. For the Elusive Golemancer, I plan to run my Elementalist. And then for Genius Operated Living Enchanted Manifestation, or Golem if you prefer, I will be running my Assassin. So as always, hope these are useful, and we'll see you for the next one.